Hello, and welcome to Probability of Demise, the show where Larissa has to run away last minute because something excited the dogs.
Because Jason ordered a pizza.
Oh, how much was pizza? Because this was... What
a lot.
Is talking over here? Okay. So that pizza conversation that we were having before we got started, I just need to wrap that up because I really need to know. How much was the pizza you ordered?
I ordered 2 small pizzas and 4 sodas, and it was with tip. It was like $70.
Okay, so there are those 2 little old guys hanging out, having breakfast, and I was having a good time, like just listening in on all the local gossip. They were infuriated by the price of a pizza. It was $20 for a small pizza. No, $25 for an extra large pizza. And I was sitting there going in my head, going like, that's actually reasonable. Don't know. Anyways, welcome to Probability Demise. We are going to just get started here. I did decide...
Side note, he did not tell me he ordered pizza.
Oh, oops.
I told you twice that I told you when you walked in the door. I said, just so you know, I ordered pizza. That's the first thing I said to you.
Memory.
My brain was like, I want a nap. Okay. Anyways, I'm distributing pizza. I'll go forth.
Okay. I'm fourthing. Hey, y'all. Gather around, fellow adventurers of the dice. I'm Rook, your guide to the mystical realms of Probability of Demise. As we venture forth on this uproarious adventure, let me introduce to you the magnificent matriarchs who will breathe life into our story. The title of this one was to do with mothers, so I'm being a brat. First in line is Asher, aka Debbie, taking the role of
the biggest matriarch
Asher.
of them all, Asher.
It's Jason, a fearless bard with a heart of coffee-fueled determination. Next up, we have Larissa, aka Marge, stepping into the shoes of Trixie, a crafty and fast-thinking mom wielding both parenting wisdom and a mean spatula with unmatched skill. So maybe we'll have to catch her up on that a little bit later. And last but not least, Jess, aka Carol, whose portrayal of Tanzanite brings a mystical and otherworldly aura to our ensemble. Her mere presence seems to hold the secrets of what happens when the laundry multiplies on its own.
Is Jess in charge of the Brady Bunch? Is that what's happening?
Guess so.
I mean, we are a little Brady Bunchy.
Larissa did miss her introduction, so
What a shame.
Just
I'm sure
watch
that'll
out for
come back
Larissa
to
and
bite me.
spatula.
Also, where there's probability of demise, there's probability of the cats.
The cats. And then if there's the cats, there's the dogs.
I am not sober enough for this conversation right now.
Not sober enough, or not?
I'm too sober. I'm telling you, my brain is not.
This is going to be a good session.
Go ahead,
Okay.
let's do it. Let's roll for recap, see how that goes.
Do we have any announcements? I don't have any announcements, except I'm going to New York City Comic Con soon.
Yeah, we'll be
Yes.
at Comic Con. Come find us.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out. And we'll have stickers. Oh, I'll
You could show.
For those not watching and just listening, they just awkwardly got up.
I had to make it dramatic because getting up is hard. We'll have these. I bought bajillions of these stickers, so you...
You gotta get closer. Closer than stay still.
Oh, it was there. There it is. Hey!
Hey!
So it's all
I'll
pretty
get
on the
that in
front,
the
so you can
sweetest
stick it
screenshot
on
of that.
whatever it is you want. And
And on the
it has
back,
our information on the
first
back.
phone number.
Does it have my... Oh, God.
You scare the
I
bejesus
can't
out of
believe
them.
I just totally fell for that crap. Yeah, so I got piles of them, so I'm going to stick them in everybody's pockets. If you want to like pickpocket my friends Jess, Jason, and Larissa, I'll just give it to you.
pockets.
Cost me.
Please do not put your hands in my pockets at Comic-Con. I have a problem with that.
I won't have pockets.
Oh, you're dressing up, are you?
I'm dressing up for sure 2 of the days, possibly a third, not a fourth.
I feel like I've been Comic-Conning all summer long because I just left. Ooh, that's pretty.
Ooh.
I just left Rose City Comic Con, and the cast of Critical Role was there. So there's a whole bunch of people in cosplay for Critical Role. It was just a lot of insanity and joy. My nephew and I went up to do the tabletop for a little bit, and my nephew actually bought some really nice metal dice. But we went downstairs and they had old school arcade games for free. So
Do they have Net Geos?
yes, they had everything. And they had all the consoles too, like all the ancient consoles. I couldn't even remember how to turn on the Commodore, and it was all set up there. Yes, they had to. They had everything. It was so much fun. So my nephew and I ended up playing a lot of.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Commodore 64 in person.
Oh. They also had the Japanese arcade section, so it had all the Japanese games. And my nephew and I don't want to use his name, they had the most fun doing this stupid bashing game where we just bashed a button, this huge button, and you had to bash it multiple. I don't know why it was so much fun, but total blast. At any rate, we are ready for
catharsis.
it was definitely cathartic.
Rook's nephew TT is their name.
Nephew TT, and my niece TT, and my other niece TT. Y'all, it is time for the word of the day.
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
Okay, this is a little weird one, so I definitely have to listen to this again. I don't know if I could say this. Today's word of the day is act. Act is an adjective used mostly in formal or literary speech, and it's a synonym for authentic, genuine, or true.
Spell it.
ECHT.
Oh.
Used in a sentence is an act New Yorker
Act.
wouldn't dream of putting tomatoes in their clam chowder.
That is wild.
True Blue, the real deal, the genuine article. All right.
Is
So there you go.
When I think of that word, I make a sound that's something like echt.
There you go.
I get what that means because Manhattan clam chowder has like a tomato-based broth.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not a huge clam chowder fan anyways, but definitely not the red one. I will have good clam chowder, but it's not my favorite soup.
Like when we went to the diner with the tomato-based pot roast or whatever it was. That's not right. That's not right.
okay.
So that's word of the day.
Act.
I feel like you have to like cross your eyes when you
The
do
pot
it.
roast
Too.
was not echt.
Okay, so y'all should have rolled for a recap already, and we should already know what you got going
I
on,
didn't do
right? I get to roll with advantage, right?
Only if I do.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. I feel safe. I feel safe.
I
Okay.
don't.
So tell us what you got, Jess.
16.
Nice. What do you got?
13.
Ooh,
I'm still safe.
Jason.
8.
Oh, sweet. Well, I was worried for a 12th of a minute. Well, I was worried for you. I rolled a 2. That's why I asked if I have advantage.
Aww.
That's good because as soon as I started to think of what the recap would be, my brain went, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, flatline. Beep.
Please continue.
Last time we were together, and it's been a while because we did one shot in the middle of the month. It's been a more than a minute. We got to see the wrap up of everything that was going on in the forest, and the crew took off in the airship to go to the lava lands, the home and domain of the red dragon, to discover what had been happening there and to discover the eggs. Truly, that was really the gist of what they were going for. And on arriving,
and then we made the world's largest omelet.
well, there was a small shadow dragonette that did get a little taste of some. Could have been eggy, but you know, she did eat one of the eggs. At any rate, you got there, and the magic that had pervaded the area was shrinking. It was being subsumed by more natural processes in a magical land, whatever that means. And while still warm, Bonnie, while still warm, the area was cooling, and when you got down into the lair itself, you discovered the bodies of possibly cultists and possibly sacrifices, possibly both together. You also discovered the eggs, 2 dozen eggs, which, through a little bit of Asher magic and some hand carry, you got all of them except for one egg onto the airship. That one egg was sadly eaten by a little shadow dragonette. And in that process of getting everything set up, Asher went back in and scraped gold for a nat 20 off the cavern walls, which is like, it should have been the most inefficient way to get gold ever. And I just can't get over this right now. At any rate, got everything together. Got some
got 10,000 gold. Come on.
Strangely gotten funds. Certainly, there will be somebody at some point who comes in and scrapes the rest of the gold off, and or it'll all collapse, and it'll be a great mining operation for somebody someday. But regardless of the future of that, you got back on the airship, and I'm going to just like sum things up and say, like, you were flying on to the next location. Now, in addition to getting the gold and the eggs, you also have a single skull currently in Asher's
Horatio!
bag of holding. Nicknamed Horatio.
I'm pretty sure the only reason you remember that is because it is now in my lexicon when I play Baldur's Gate 3 anytime I loot a skull.
That's nice. I didn't know that.
I want to play that.
We should play together.
I have to buy a computer.
No, I have been not playing, and I will not be playing until I get back from New York Comic Con, because I just don't have the time. Also, packing and unpacking is a thing. At any rate,
yes,
we are diving in now on the airship. We're going to play a little bit of fast travel games, but I did want to check in with you all. Over the course of probably about a week or two that it's going to take to transit over the ocean and over the continent between you and Mare. I wrote it. I said it so well the other day, and now I can't say it again.
Really, Bird's
Delve.
The Delve.
Once you get to the Delve, about a week to 2 weeks will have passed. I really wanted to quickly ask you, is there anything you would have gotten up to during this time? Personal journaling, reflection on your souls, any of that, and I'll give you a few moments to think about that.
I feel like I don't know if everybody attuned to all of their items. Let's start with that.
And
with the music.
Back.
I got up and sang that in my head while I go put the pizza box in the kitchen, and I was only like a half a second ahead.
Nice.
I was really proud of myself. Like, as I sat down, I went whack, and I put my headphones on, and I heard whack.
All right.
So good.
Individually or as a group or anything, what would you have been up to over the course of this trip?
Playing lullabies to the eggs.
Okay.
And maybe taking some naps. It's been a busy couple of months. I mean, I don't know.
Catching up on your sleep. It's been a while since you've been to the Delve. Like, you did, as a gift, receive a fortress there. You haven't visited it since receiving ownership, really. And
apparently Trixie's mom moved in with a bunch of eggs, so whatever.
Yeah, Trixie's mom has moved into the Delve. I think it would be easy enough to say that you probably, Trixie at least surmises that this was because of the request for healers, that her mom ended up volunteering to be part of that training cadre. Probably to get closer to Trixie, who she thought would still be there, but that didn't happen.
Oops.
Tanzanite, are you up to anything during this trip, or is it just rest, relaxation, and catching up?
It would be resting and like just trying to commune with myself after without killing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I'd want to reach out to my little shadow, maybe in that 2-week span, 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Not to specifically say anything, just because I had said I would check in more, and I want to do that.
Cool.
So if there's news from her, then I will take it. Otherwise, I'm not trying to, like, say anything.
Sir,
and
news from the underground.
And you would have checked in like 3 times, you think, over the course of a couple weeks? Awesome.
Maybe like at the beginning of the first week, end of the first week, middle of the second week, kind of a thing.
Awesome. Trixie, anything you'd be getting up to during this time? Asher's trying to catch up on their beauty sleep. And playing with eggs.
Just kind of like mentally stealing myself a little bit every day and like trying to just put myself up to like the onslaught of attention that my mother's probably going to lay on me the minute I arrive. Just try to mentally brace myself and imagine how I'm going to handle it or attempt to handle it. It isn't really something that she's had to think / worry about for a while. So it's now that she's coming, she's just kind of, it's like the closer they get, the more she's having anxiety and is probably getting less sleep, or at least is having a more fitful sleep. She might be getting a little cranky / hangry, or getting hangry easier than normal.
So are you feeding your feelings as part of this trip?
Yeah. No, I just think
Trixie's
I think all of her like
syrup.
Her normal kind of like positive energy is being drained, and so she has to eat more to kind of refuel faster.
Syrup supply getting a little low, but not desperate.
Yeah. Other people worry about fresh water.
If you look from like the steering wheel of the airship, there's just like a straw like mounted on the steering wheel that goes to a barrel of maple syrup.
Crazy straw.
Nice. All right, so
she's driving just like.
Based on this description, could I get all 3 of you to roll a d20? Jess, I want you to roll with advantage because you're staying in contact with the outside world. Asher, I want you to roll with disadvantage because you got eggs to keep your attention.
I also want to look into Boomer's murder dreams, which was a thing I needed to do. It was on my list.
Okay, cool. Well, definitely rolling with advantage or disadvantage, Asher. And Trixie, just roll it straight.
11.
7.
16.
All right. Tanzanite, go ahead and roll 2d6s. They're separate, so don't add them up. Just tell me them separately. Trixie, roll 1d6. Asher, what'd you get again? 7?
Yep.
Okay, we're deep in. And while they're rolling their numbers for us, Asher, what are you trying to figure out about the murder dreams?
I don't know. I was just told that I needed to know about them, so like Trixie and Shep seemed to feel like I needed to know, so I guess I...
Oh, he hasn't witnessed them. That's it. He needs to... Shep needs to show him, like, Boomer's history. I think that was what I was aiming for. Is that...
Okay.
I think he needs to understand where Boomer's coming from and the possible, like, sociopathic tendencies that might be present.
All right.
I don't remember. I can never remember the difference.
In keeping with this, but also moving us along a little bit here, Asher, I would like you, since are you going to seek Shep's help?
Sure.
Then with advantage, roll an insight check. And may you all survive what is coming.
17.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
17. I think you... Describe to me, if you can, Asher, a patron that was just kind of a mixed bag at the tavern when you were growing up. Someone that your mother probably kept you away from and caused never really outright problems, but definitely was whispered about when they weren't there. And as you describe this person in your head or out loud, or whichever you choose to do, you start to realize that there are some synchronous components between Boomer and that individual. Do you have anybody in mind?
No. Let's see. Sure. We'll say there was a guy that used to come in who was like a life of the party sort and like pretty fun to be around, but like the more you spend time with him, you realize he's like a little bit racist against elves, and like he says things about women that make you uncomfortable when there's not women in the room, and like so like that type of dude where like on the surface he's like, all right, fun guy, and then like you actually get to know him and you're like, maybe not a fun guy. That's where I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Because every bar has 50 of those.
Yeah, definitely. That makes perfect sense. Let's start with... Actually, since Jess has 2 of them, well, let's start with you. What did you get for your first D6?
Does it matter?
Yes.
Which one you mean?
Which one I say first?
Oh, no. Just...
Okay.
Of course it matters. I wouldn't ask.
This is just selecting from a table that already exists.
The left one.
So 2.
2. Awesome. That's okay. So, everybody, go ahead and just roll whatever you would do in terms of a perception. Passive could be used, but just your perception of the world. Maybe you're somebody who's more into getting a feel for things, so you could use an insight check into the world. Maybe you're just looking at stuff, so you just use a regular old perception check. Whatever you would use to kind of get your that is your grounding and in the zone how things are.
Well, The bad news is I rolled a 4. The good news is I have a plus 13 for perception now. So that's a 17.
25.
Okay.
26.
Dang. Okay. You with the 26, Trixie. What method of understanding the world were you using? Was it just a
I
straight
guess in
perception
what
check?
context is it? Just like as I'm
What you rolled
as,
for? What?
I mean,
roll did
yeah,
you-
it would have been like a straight perception, like just
Okay.
as I'm going through my day, like I always have kind of like one ear turned to the side kind of thing, and
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Behind the airship, as you're flying away from the forest and from the lava flats and from Canyonville, really, and everything behind the airship, you just make out a bright orange glow on the horizon that is not the sun rising, because it is in fact setting. And it's just a marker of something strange going on in the world. It's maybe enough to draw other people's attention to it. Tanzanite, you also see the glow. Do you, either of you, herald Asher away from the eggs to see this same thing? Because Asher does not.
Hush,
Catch
little
sight.
eggies, don't say a word. Please don't hatch in the basement of my airship.
I guess I get it depends. It depends situationally. For me, it would have been like because I'm assuming I'm driving most of the time, so it would have been a view in my rear view mirror kind of situation.
Okay, if that's what you think, that perfect.
I
just tell
mean,
me.
if I'm driving, then yes.
It's really up to you to decide the narration on when this occurs and how it happens. So if it's when you were driving, would you have drawn Asher's attention to it, or would you have just noted it and moved on?
I would be listening to see if I could tell whether Tanzanite had also noticed, either just by kind of using, not intentionally, well, I guess intentionally, but not the speaker tubes.
Okay, so we'll shift to the space wherever Tanzanite is. Tanzanite, where are you when you witness this? I mean, you have to be on the airship, because otherwise it'd just be weird.
I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be too far away from Asher.
Okay.
I think. So I'd probably...
I mean, nobody wants to be too far away from Asher. It's fine.
The song to the eggs, and maybe your attention wandered, or you had to go grab a snack and you saw the bright glow to the rear of the airship, off to the slightly northeast, mostly east.
Yeah. I think I'd wait for him to notice, and then if he didn't, I'd be like, hey, look at this.
Okay. So all three of you are able to look and see, and you do see this bright glow. And it looks like possibly a forest fire, but it's not dispersed enough for that. There's no smoke, seemingly. And over the course of that day, as you continue traveling onward, you see it kind of resolve into what looks like a meteorite or a shooting star, but it's going upwards, which is just odd. What was your other D6, Tanzanite, as you...
A 5.
Awesome. You do get a message from your shadow. And in that, one of the messages you exchange with them, you are informed that Canyonville has imploded politically and has separated itself from the Alliance.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Trixie, what did you get for your D6?
6.
Sweet heavens to Betsy. It's a day or two later as you're on this trip, and you're closer to the delve than not at this point, when you see that meteorite coming back down, it seems, and it's coming back down still far off to the east, but it seems to be coming back down more in the direction of the south, just a bit further south than it had emerged. Without any additional news from anyone.
I just want to throw out there, as soon as I would hear about Canyonville, I'd probably go tell Asher, just because I know Trixie's flying the ship, so I wouldn't want to distract her. But as soon as she's done and she has a moment, then I would tell her.
Let's just assume that it's easy enough to get that message through to both of them. What do you? You're all sitting around having a lunch midday snack in the navigation room. Pickles and onion sandwiches.
I would just go like maybe with my cup of tea. So Canyonville has left the Alliance. Thought you should know.
Have you talked to your dad, to my dad, to his mom? Anybody in charge?
Nope. I froze. Just.
You're muted, Jason.
Could you?
But I was muted.
This is my surprise face.
Could you?
Who do I call? What do I say?
Maybe someone in Overton, just because I feel like that's kind of where we're.
I assume they know.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying they wouldn't know. I'm just wondering if they're okay. Because I feel like if they left, then I don't. Does that mean they're our enemy now? And we need to, like. That's kind of the what I would like to know. So.
Leaving isn't necessarily declaring war. I mean.
Yeah, but like. Maybe they have more info as to why.
I'm pretty sure several of the reasons why are in this room. Like Canyonville's leaders don't like us very much.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have had a spider cult doing shit under their town.
They're just looking for someone to blame. You know, politicians.
I know, but like still, I just would it be too much trouble just to reach out to someone in Overton, or maybe me, or oh no, you know? There we go.
I'm removing the second dance tonight.
We had two of you yesterday.
I got booted. I don't know what happened.
I kicked you out for running your mouth.
You're reaching out. I mean, here, just for the fun of it. No, can't add it twice.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to try to
we can just see it down there.
It's great. You're frozen in the best possible way. So,
great.
You've been asked. I mean, I know that you got disconnected, so you were asked to reach out to them.
Just someone in Overton, if it wouldn't be too much trouble. Just for my peace of mind.
Tell me who and what to say, and I will be happy to.
I turned to Asher. Asher, your mom is still there, right? She's not off.
As far as I know.
Okay. I guess Asher's mom.
Don't forget, you can do this now too.
Can I? Oh, but I just got it the once.
I can always put it back in.
You have to refill it because you used it.
No, she put a second one in. She put
And
that
then
and
you
something
used
else.
it again after she crashed. After her laptop died. I think. Right, Rourke?
I don't
at the end.
remember, but if because of this travel time, it would have been easy enough to ask for a Tanzanite to refill, so you can have it back.
Do you want to try? I mean, I'll do it. I'll be happy to, but
I turned to Ash trying to go, Molly? Okay. And
so don't forget, you gotta touch it, and then you gotta think of the person in your head. You gotta really, really imagine them.
Yeah. I don't know what she technically looks like to Asher, but to me, she's got like Molly Weasley vibes, like like the group mom kind of situation. But even though J.K. Rowling's a turf, sorry, we're not political. I'm sorry.
Never claimed to not be political.
This is true. Just more that like group mom character. Anywho, so I put a claw on the ring, and I imagine Molly in my mind, and I go, "Hey, Asher's mom, it's Trixie. Heard Canyonville left Alliance. Do you know why? Also, did you see orange ball in sky? That was weird, huh?"
I give her a little pat, and I go, "That was really good."
Sorry. Oh.
It with 4 questions to respond to. It takes Molly a second to just try to sort out her thoughts. And you can hear it in her voice. But you can also hear in her voice that she's been dealing with the same strange magical interaction of these messages as you have been, and feels just as novice to it, but knows that there is a limit. And you can hear it in her voice that she's trying to constrain what she says.
Wait, did you say novice as in she's like a novice to it, or did you mean novice as in like she's nervous but in a fun accent?
not southern nervous.
She's pretty novice about it. No, novice as in
my word.
She's
getting woman I ever met
into a relationship with someone who does use this spell.
I thought you were being like punny because I
child.
heard.
Oh God, that's awesome. Has a child who also has some of these magical capacities and causes problems. What you get back, not that this particular magic is necessarily there, but just knowing that she's immersed herself in this world and she's become much more adept at handling these things. But it's still within the space of it's hard to do and say things in 25 words or less, especially when there were 4 questions thrown at you. So you hear,
I only get it the once.
Canyonville's alliance departure unclear. Witness strange orange skyball. Nee's house blew up and crashed. Quite peculiar indeed.
Did you say good?
Currently,
as in, like, that's great.
Sorry. Currently eating toast with knee, and then it cuts off.
Okay, so they don't know why Canyonville left. She said that they witnessed the orange ball thing, but then she said Nee's house blew up and crashed.
Did he do it?
That sounds not good, but also not unsurprising.
It was unclear whether the orange ball and Nee's house were related or separate instances, and also unclear whether he did it, but he's apparently fine because he was eating toast with, or she was eating toast with him.
It was Nee's tower the orange ball?
That was not specified. If you want to know, it's your turn. I only had the one.
I just love the idea that Tanzanite is just like refilling it each time because she's enjoying you messaging more than she enjoys messaging. Spell slot, check. 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 Messages sent, 0. Okay. Anything else you're going to do with this? Otherwise, I will say that you're arriving in the Delve. Apparently, things are moving afoot across the world. You already knew that the Elven cities had been destroyed, more or less. And there's definitely things afoot back home. Anything that you wanted to have attuned or deattuned, you had plenty of time to do that while flying, so just know that you have that. Also, if you had any spells that you needed to swap out or swap in, you've had 2 weeks to do this. And you come in, and you see, as before, the area around the Delve. The place where the Black Dragon was killed is still polluted. You can see that the wreckage of the previous airship has been removed. There's no trace of it, whether it was scavenged for materials to create new things or simply cleaned up. You have no idea. You can also see just right around the edge of the cliff face of the mountain that the Delve lives beneath, so to speak, is the area where your fortress is located. Do you choose to land in the field or near your own abode?
Do we have like an airship dock that we could just like pull up? Like the way you would park like a boat at a dock, except for it's just like the airship pulling up to a window.
I love the idea that window that got broken by the young dragonling way so long ago is actually never been really fixed. And it's just this opening that you could potentially just...
I forgot about that. That was in a one-shot, too. That we weren't even there for that.
Mm-hmm. That was, I think that was the
with Fawn and...
the folks you left behind, so to speak, who just were like, we got to get going here. But yeah, you actually, if you want to, you can say you came around the edge of the mountain towards that cliff face to the undesirable location for those who mostly live in the Delve, of a place that actually faces the sun and the outside world. But quite desirable for a group of folks such as yourselves, minus Tanzanite, who may prefer a deeper, darker home, depending on the situation. I do believe her bedroom was in the darkest corner of that space.
Who also needs a tan the most out of all of us. So.
No.
But yeah, the three of you plus Shep and Emmy and just your crew of small but mighty team come around, and there's a busted out window that looks like it has been cleaned up but not replaced, and it makes for a lovely dock for the airship. Anchors shot into the mountainside and such. You are able to easily pull up snug to that spot and easily transition into your home.
Home sweet home that I've barely ever been to. Good to be back to this place that we apparently own.
Oh. Well,
What time is it?
Does anybody remember the servants' names? Because there are servants in this place.
Nope. Like, did we arrive in the middle of the day, at night?
You arrive midday.
Okay.
It's quiet, which for a place that's been unoccupied or less than robustly occupied makes sense, although you're not hearing the folks who are assigned to be servants to the space.
I'm just going to go, hello!
hello, hello.
Hello!
It echoes down the hallways a little bit, and you hear a couple of clunk, clunk, as various doors are opened and closed in quick succession.
Is it a man with a peg leg and a hook?
Fine. A man with a peg leg and a hook comes marching through the doorways. The hook is apparently equipped with a duster, and
Amazing.
the peg leg has an attachment point, which may be for a dustpan. Who knows?
Oh my god.
As one of the folks that you remember being assigned as stewards to the space makes their way and just stands eyes wide staring at the four of you, plus Emmy and a
Shep.
floating gun, Shep. So there's a lot going on in your
Ragtag group of adventurers.
Yes. Eyes wide, and then shakes themselves, quickly slips the dust rag off of the end of their support, their
Appendage.
No,
appendage.
what's it called?
I'm trying to remember. What are those?
Prosthetic.
It's prosthetic, yeah.
Yes.
Quickly whipping that off their prosthetic, and with a short and very courteous little bow. Okay. Everything's cleaned. Didn't replace that. Do you want a door?
Does it get cold here?
Yeah, very. And you can
probably a
see
door
that
then.
this little
Some
particular
point.
hallway
No
space,
rush.
all the doors are closed to this this section because they're trying to keep the cold out, which is why the doors were clunk, 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 clunk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe like a door and just like a little landing platform. Kind of Something
Landing
to-
platform.
just something to step almost like a parapet. Does that make sense?
I'll see if we can get that approved. Funds. That would be your approval. So, can you approve that?
Approved.
Yeah, you.
I want to take like of the 10,000 gold that I scraped off the wall. I'm gonna take like 1,000 gold of that and give it to him, like in, just like pulling it, like in, like out of the bag of
It's-
holding in like these long strips.
long strips of like, it's almost like thicker gold leaf in these strange, like crepe paper gold, just being pulled out. His eyes grow wide, and oh yeah, yes, and
I was like, here you go. This is for household expenses. I'm just gonna
yeah,
like set
yeah,
it on the
yeah.
ground. I assume that's probably heavy, right? Like 1,000 gold must be heavy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm just
It's
gonna like
not
leave
light.
it like all kind of balled up, like steel wool on the ground. Giant ball. Like, no rush. You can deal with that. Whatever. Let me know if you need me to put that somewhere else.
No. And you see he pulls out another little tool out of a satchel to his side and begins trying to sweep. And it's not moving because it's heavy gold. And then he just kind of, I'll see to it in a moment.
Okay.
Your rooms, a meal?
We were actually looking for Mrs. Trixie's mom. What's your mom's name? I don't remember.
I think I said Alora, something like that. I don't know. It's in a random notebook somewhere.
I might have written it
Trixie
down.
doesn't know who her mom is.
No. That's
Melissa doesn't
that's
know who
not that's not
D&D, where you can know the name of your weapon, but
That was
not know
easy
your
to
parents'
remember.
names.
Oh, I didn't name my mom after someone in real life.
That's just giving you a hard time because
It's funny because like I want to say it was like ALORA or something.
I don't know.
I don't have it in my notes.
I didn't write it down.
Oh,
Well, that's what it is now.
Alora, how pretty.
that's my Baldur's Gate character's name.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure I ALORA, kind of like thinking like Aurora, but like with an L instead.
Gotcha.
Well, Alora is now officially her name from here on out. Whether it was that or not in the past does not matter, because we're moving forward.
Yeah.
She's down in the training hall. I can go sort that out for you.
In the where?
The training hall. In the main city, they've established some. It's part of the alliance and the exchange.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just go that way, I think.
What
time of day is it?
It's still midday.
Midday.
Early afternoon.
Yeah, we'll just
I
we'll just-
assume that you wouldn't want to arrive on your airship late at night and you'd like to have a day to do things. So we'll let fantasy work out its magic and get you a midday arrival.
If only the airplanes worked that way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm taking a red eye into New York City. So
Good
you
times.
you all head out of your home,
Yes.
spending less than 5 minutes in the place that you've spent probably a total of 2 days in, and head into the underground city.
as we leave, I'm like, oh, it's always hard to leave that place behind. Our home sweet home.
Home sweet. What was that place again? All right.
In that city whose name we can never say right. Murray Byrd.
Speak for yourself.
Mary Byrd Stealth.
Mary Beard's Delve.
Okay, so you all
Mary
head
Beard.
down, and things have changed a little bit, but not much. It is a town underground, maybe a little bit more familiar to Tanzanite's perception of things by being a underground space, but all of you have now at this point witnessed so many locations across all of Atland that seeing it another time, it reminds you of many of the locations you've been to, both homes, towns, and cities, but also some of the more dangerous places you've been. And you realize that this is one of the old, at some point, this was an old bunker of some sort. It has just transformed into the home of many rather than a space such as you saw in the swamp of a lab or the dungeons that you've come across in other spaces like that. This is actually a city. You make your way down. Sorry, I just turned it down a little bit. You make your way down into the market square. You can the sounds and smells and sights are fairly familiar. You've been through here before. You even pass by a jeweler that you visited oh so long ago.
Ooh. Trixie's gonna have an actual squirrel moment, and she's gonna run off to Jill's shop because anything she can do to avoid seeing her mother, she's gonna do.
Awesome.
So the minute she understands and orients herself, she's like, I'll be right back.
Do you take off without Asher and Tanzanite? I mean, you are fast.
I mean, we can't keep up if that's what she's doing.
I say, I'm going to go say hi to Jill, and then I go.
I'm gonna look at.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna look at Tanzan after she's gone and be like, and she yells at us for just taking off with no notice.
Oh, this is only her like first time.
Also, I said where I was going and that I would be right back. So,
in all fairness, this would be the time where I tell Trixie to roll initiative. But I don't have anything for this. You, Trixie, make your way quickly to Jill's shop. It sounds like it's in operation. Jill must have returned from other locations that she was in, probably utilizing the support of teleporting that has slowly made its way around. Of course, that means that she probably was negotiating with Nee, or maybe somebody that Nee has been training, because the only other person that you all know of who can handle that teleporting magic is, in fact, with you, Asher. So when you arrive at the workshop, and there's that cider stand, which is kind of like
the mead,
the meadery. It looks like they're doing brisk business, and you run up to the building and you hear the sounds of it, and behind you you hear a voice shout out, "Trixie!" And there drinking is Jill.
Oh no! Oh no!
I run up and just encompass her in a hug. I can't remember if she's my size or not.
She's closer to your size than most.
Yeah.
I mean, she is of a dwarvish build, and so she's not exactly as small as you, but so close that it doesn't make. She's fairly small for a dwarf even, so she may be exactly your height. I don't know.
So I just kind of run up and do you run into a really good friend just randomly on the street kind of thing. But yeah. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Oh, and her eyes, for maybe 30 seconds were on your eyes, and then you see her eyes shift to the shovel.
I've been taking really good care of it, I promise. And I pull it out and I show it to her.
She's pulling it away from you, examining it, looking at it very closely. Oh, I see things have changed. Oh, this gives me an idea. And abandoning her mead, and depending on whether or not you want to follow her or not, because she does not inform you that she's going somewhere without you, she runs over towards her shop.
Oh, I
with
follow.
Your shovel in hand.
I follow. I mean, that's my baby she's got. I'm following.
It's almost ready. I can see that it's so set up. Let's go stick it on here on the anvil. And she takes your shovel and just puts it on that magical anvil that she had used before.
Whoa.
Okay, so come on over here. I need you. You need to be at work here.
Oh God!
Jill, the last time we did this.
I got you. I'm much better at this. This is, and go ahead and
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Roll a quick perception check as she kind of gestures offhandedly to the walls.
Ooh, it's a 29.
29. You are distracted from what she's doing with your shovel, which shouldn't be a thing for you because you did say your baby.
Right.
Because the walls are
you sure I don't want
with
you to
all
get
sorts of magical, interesting, intricate weapons, armors, and other things that are not armors. It's just strange objects. Okay, get back over here. Get back over here.
Okay.
Okay, put your hand right here. And she points to what looks like a circular hole with many layers to it. All the way in.
With many layers.
It is a circle and it is a hole. Go ahead and roll a perception check if you just want to look at it first.
Investigate. Oh, yeah. 22.
It looks like layers and layers of blades.
How do you mean layers? How does a hole have layers?
Like an onion. And if you want it to be cake, it can be cake, but it's going to be a crepe cake because it's going to be thin layers.
Okay, so the sides, so it's a cylinder more instead of a
the circle, the hole going down, could be described as a empty cylinder, like the inverted part of a cylinder.
Okay.
But the overall space is actually attached. It looks like a new attachment point to her magical forge, and it is.
And she wants me to stick my hand in the hole of doom.
Yes,
this is very Indiana Jones. I look at her. I go, does it matter which hand?
Whichever one you don't use much.
Huh?
Your offhand.
I don't have an offhand. I punch people with both fists.
Okay, which one has the most and she's kind of stumbling for her words. It's that and then have you seen it?
Seen what?
The energy that's seeped in.
Oh, you mean oh gosh, what did they call them? The ley line thingies?
Yeah, that
kind of.
So whichever one has the most in touch with that.
I guess my left?
Great,
I lead with my left? Okay, I put my left paw in.
You hear metal sounds, but you don't feel anything. And then she says to you, okay, just take a deep breath.
Okay.
Breathe in. And as you breathe in, you hear as all these metal sounds come at your hand, and you can feel your hand is now held in place. Not terribly painful, but uncomfortable.
Like a corset.
Like a hand corset, like an arm and wrist corset. The whalebone is pinching in places, but it's not digging into the skin.
Technically, Trixie's holding her breath, just so you know, because she just said take a deep breath. She didn't say take a deep breath and let it out.
Okay, so starts channeling and we'll be ready to go. Okay. The machine starts whirring. Okay, start channeling.
Okay, I my mind goes blank for a quick second, and then just in a panic, I just start pushing key through down into my hand, because that's the only thing I can think of in terms of channeling.
How much key are you willing to push into this?
All of it. Panic.
I think because of the situation, because Trixie has been increasingly on edge for the last 2 weeks, and she's now kind of being surprised and put on the spot when she's not normally, she's pretty normally alert and prepared for all situations, but she's on the back foot, as it were. She's just gonna until it's gone, all of it. So that's 16 points of key.
Awesome. 16. Okay. I got to do some math. What's 16 divided by? Okay. So that's 8.
When you take your hand out, it's like Mega Man's arm cannon.
Okay, cool. I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing later, but that's fine.
Oh no. I'm sorry? What did I do?
So you put 16 key in. It's fine. Don't worry. You pass out because you forgot to breathe.
But is my arm still stuck in the thing? So I'm just kind of
Yes. It is about this time where she has passed out. Asher and Tanzanite, are you walking up to Jill's place, or are you totally not interested?
Unless Tanzanite got distracted by the jeweler, then yes.
Also fair.
That's where we were when Trixie took off. We were out front of the jeweler.
Yeah.
It's not that I was distracted, and more, she said she'd be right back.
So you felt like you needed to, wait where she left us.
I needed to wait where she left me.
Awesome. So are you perusing the jeweler's goods?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you're looking for? I mean, it is clear that the trade with Overton has benefited, and the work of these people has only become more successful because it's gone from being a few jeweled items to, the metals that are mined here are rich and varied, and some of them probably not appropriate to be wearing, but many totally amazing materials, and they've just been enhanced by having trade with the jewelry rich resources of Underton. And so the display is impressive.
Yeah. There is something I specifically want. I want to find, if they have it, and they may not, 3 pieces of the same gem. I want a male ring, a
You trying to think of for me?
Yeah. I never actually thought this would actually happen, so I didn't ever pinpoint one for you.
Arm cuff.
Pirate arm cuff.
That's what I was gonna go with bracelet, so yeah, perfect. A arm cuff with a pretty thing, and then a necklace. So it's like sister jewels.
Okay. Talking with the jewel maker, the jewelry maker, the designer, it's kind of like being at a craft fair, but it's a craft fair where she'll make things that you want exactly as you want them. And as you describe your interest, and Asher, I'm guessing you're still standing around at this place. So as you're describing this, she goes to her rough stones, the ones that are not cut yet, and pulls out a few different stones for you to look at. There's an opal, there's a ruby, there's some other fun jewel stones that she's pulling out. Is there a specific one that you think would be the type of stone you're trying to get?
Oh, come on. Easy answer.
I know, but I don't want that.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of gemstones.
A really, really dark ruby.
A really, really dark ruby.
So almost more...
Garnet? Is that the other?
No, like almost more brown than red.
Okay. So you're looking at something that's like a Gia stone or something like that, like really, really dark and really... Okay, so she does have a plentiful amount of these types of jewelry bits and bobs, and she pulls the uncut gemstone up, and in its raw form, I don't know if any of you have seen rubies in their raw form. They kind of look like faceted and malted melt balls, or like really bad chocolate that's gone. And she asks you, so polished or rough?
Can there be an in-between?
Semi-polish. Well, let's get to work. And she drags you into the back of her space.
Yay!
and kind of
Tanzanite's best dream.
Kind of puts you to work. And what I will say is this, since you're involved directly in this, you will describe the finished product at whatever point you decide is appropriate to do that. I will say that it costs you probably 1,000 gold for this overall. But
while she's doing that, Asher's like in with his bag of holding, like sliding out more. Kind of got roughly 1,000 gold of more stripped gold from the walls.
Yeah, you see that the jeweler's eyes light up as she realizes that she's getting a really workable material.
I was just gonna say it's probably worth more than even 1,000, like in terms of just like a straight.
Just very quietly accepts the payment without any.
I'm gonna ask her, like, do you want to, like? I have about 8 times more what I just gave you. Do you want to, like, work out a trade for, like, some coins or other currency? I don't really need it in this form, but it sounds like it would be good for you.
That would be amazing. Let me. And you see her concentrate, which for her, for this particular jeweler, it kind of looks like she's having a moment of constipation.
So it's like one of us after we roll dice and look at our modifiers.
Yes. She takes a moment and she goes, okay, so I have some colleagues, and so we're going to pool together.
Okay.
Well,
here, will you finish Tanzanite's order? I will get all of this out of my bag of holding. Okay. So I'm just like in the middle of like her shop, just like.
I'll say you can replace that material with its equivalent in whatever currency you would negotiate for. I'm not going to go into the details of that because you're fabulously wealthy and you can figure it out. But the
so fast forward an hour and Asher just like sweeping coins and things into his bag.
and other people, as Jess and this individual are both continuing to work on her pieces that are being put together, other folks have come and they've all contributed, and they're all taking their piece of the gold ribbon, more or less, off to their own workshops and such like that. So it is due to this, Trixie, that you wake up with water splashed over you. Your arm is out of the hole.
But I'm
and Jill looking down
probably.
at you. You have like that like you played a sport with one arm too much, and you really should have worked both sides.
Mm-hmm. I missed right arm day.
It's like, yes. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I just
check it out. And she thrusts your shovel at you.
What do I see? Does it look any different?
It looks a lot shinier, a lot cleaner. It looks like some of the various pieces of it have changed. And I will have to update this in detail later. But if you look at your DC to hit and your damage bonus, those have gone up.
Pretty.
Yay!
Are we clear what that had to do with putting her hand in a vice and shooting key into it?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Is it high enough to? Is it high enough to cut at least one head off a 5-headed dragon? Because I think that's in our future.
It is no longer very rare. It is an artifact level item.
Anybody want to guess what the modifier to hit is? As in, like, what I add to my roll?
Oh.
22. Is it really?
How does he do that for it?
Wild guesses, I guess. I don't know.
I made that up. I had no idea. All right. Well, don't roll in that one, and you're pretty much good all the time.
All that does is now I am deeply terrified of what I'm going up against where I would miss.
Be terrified. Be terrified.
When the question, does a 35 hit, still ends in a question mark?
After a bit of time, you're sitting there kind of getting yourself back together. You're wet because you got drenched with water when Jill decided that was the only way to wake you up. And then she thrusts a cup of mead from the local mead works into your hands. It'll work out. Don't worry.
Wait, do I know what it is? Can I tell what it is before I drink it?
At a quick sniff, yeah, you can tell it's definitely sweet honey. Do you want to roll something?
Yeah, let me roll. I want to roll a perception check with disadvantage, only because I might actually still be groggy, but that was probably the most solid sleep I've gotten in a few days. I mean, even if I roll a 2, I'm still getting a 12, but that's an 18. Never mind, I know what it is. I really shouldn't have this.
Oh, it's okay. It's totally the light stuff.
I had this do you remember what I was like last time?
Well, we discovered that there's a whole ecology down deeper, and this came from the bees down there.
Okay, but if Tanzanite and Asher show up and they want to know why
your mom's coming by later. I've been getting to know her. She's really fun.
And then Trixie just takes it down in one gulp.
Saw that coming.
Roll a Constitution.
I hate to be predictable, but
it would be with disadvantage. But I think you have advantage on these, so it's just going to be straight.
On con saves?
Yeah.
No, I have advantage on dex saves.
Oh, I thought you had advantage on.
Oh, you mean
saves
on
in general now?
No, I'm proficient in all saves.
Okay.
I only have advantage on dex saves.
Will be at disadvantage then.
Okay.
Because you downed the whole thing.
And it's a con save, you said? Yes. It's still a 17. And I also can't be poisoned, but, you know.
And that one would have got you stung by a giant Underdark bee. Just ripped in through the window and boop.
Funny you say that. So a 17 still isn't enough to fully make a save, but it is at the level where you're conscious of what you're doing and saying. You're not losing time, so to speak. But it does mean you are much more likely to say yes, and you will have disadvantage on insight checks.
Oh, no. Okay.
Everybody loves you right now.
Of course they do. I'm a party animal.
Womp womp.
Eventually, Tanzanite, the jewelry is done. Asher, the transactions are done. You all have what you want from that. Hey! And...
Hey, Jess's mom.
Jess's mom is so much fun. I don't know how I need a better song than that, but...
Jess's mom. Nah.
Oh, wait. Now I know what that... Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot what that tune does.
Dangerous territory.
Yep.
Thought it didn't sing it for that reason.
So as you are sitting there a bit inebriated,
A bit.
Tanzanite, Asher, the transactions are done, and you make your way to, or are you staying there? Because she's
No,
not
I
come
would
back.
say, yeah, at this point, if she's not back, I'd go
Yeah,
get
I do
her.
want to have Jill like probably look at my gun.
Amazing. So I would say that Tanzanite and Asher, you both get there, and it's getting close to evening time, like mealtime, but you get there and you have time. You see Trixie is soused.
Can I add something?
Yes.
As they get closer, you hear what could only be described in the real world as the singing of sea shanties.
The pirate queen strikes again.
We figured it out. Trixie's only the pirate queen when she's blacked out drunk. That's why she doesn't know.
Oh, that is the best. I would say that Trixie is even migrated back over to the mead hall so that she has people to join her in this, and she is leading her. Meanwhile, Jill is just kind of sitting in her door, watching from across the little pathway here. Just big smile on her face. She sees you, Asher, and Tanzanite coming up, and Jill waves to you. Says, good to see you. She's having... I improved her shovel. Don't worry about it.
She had a mead, didn't she?
Yes. We have a new one. Do you want to try it?
Sure. Also, I'm gonna be like gun really flippy.
Except it's like a rifle.
No, I still have my revolver.
Oh.
I'm just gonna do that and then hold it up. Be like, could you make this able to hurt a god?
Are you a god?
Not this god. I'll point it to
Oh gosh,
different god.
I was gonna say, are you having the outs? Like Tanzanite, are you okay?
I was just looking at him like,
More like I'm just gonna lower my voice with like 5-headed evil dragon god.
Are you all going after it?
I think eventually it's coming after us, or one way or the other.
Oh. Well, let's get to it then. And she starts working on the.
Also, do you want to meet my new friend? I'm like, hey, Boomer, this is Jill.
She sees the floating rifle and roll an insight check.
Did she give me that dancing rapier? I can't remember if that's where I got it. Where did that come from?
I can't remember, but it's not as apparent.
No, the dancing rapier you got in exchange for the really crappy thing that you had.
Oh, right. The dude just gave it to me because my sword
tower.
was so shitty. That's right. Okay.
So you show her Boomer, and you can just see like the
cogs.
Roll your insight check. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not tattling.
Almost gave it away for free.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You can see the absolute avarice. Yeah. So do you want me to work on that too?
What do you think, Boomer? Do you want to get an upgrade?
Could you roll a d20 and subtract 3 from it?
Oh,
I think that's what Boomer's thing is, right?
5.
Boomer hides behind your back.
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay.
Boomer's got a little bit of mind of his own going on. His own. Boomer, what's your pronouns?
Whatever you want me to be.
Where's Boomer's goblin voice?
I
Oh,
can't
right.
now.
Okay. Well, Boomer, they are scared of you and don't want upgrades.
Okay, so the
Pistole.
revolver. What would you like done to the revolver? What are you interested in seeing what she can do?
Honestly, no idea. I just want a weapon that can fight a dragon god.
I have a suggestion.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's a way to do it, but like essentially make it like a chromatic orb revolver. And that way you can do.
He's kind of got that with.
I suppose with the rifle.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, never hurts to have a backup, especially if guns can jam.
I don't know. I mean, even if we could just like throw another plus on there, or I'm gonna assume that dragon gods have no like weaknesses, so we'll just not.
Okay, well, let's stick it in the forge and see what happens.
Okay.
She pulls it, and you know how you can
we
take
melted
apart.
It. Sorry.
You know how you can take apart a weapon. She goes through the process of taking it apart, cleaning it as she's doing it, and then laying out all the components on the anvil. Okay, so I'm assuming you can do the same thing. So stick your hand down there. She points at this cylindrical hole. All right. Deep breath, and you can hear metal moving. Okay. And then it grips your arm really tightly.
Ow. Okay, now what?
Okay, start channeling. You got this.
Channeling what?
Whatever you got. Same thing as your friend Trixie did.
Are you sure it won't break it?
Your arm?
No, the machine. I got a lot.
It won't break. It won't break my forge. It might break the gun though. She says that really quietly.
I'm going to shoot an 8th level fireball down there.
Okay. It's working. It's not a lot, but I think that can work. Let's see.
Oh.
Do you got more?
Not a lot.
Let me think. How about I mean, the only thing I could do like a little bit stronger of a fireball. Would that be good, or something else?
Whatever you put in is kind of what you get out. So if you want your revolver to have more kick like that, then let's go for it. If you want something different, let's do something different.
Can I think about it?
Wait.
Like...
What is because I'm with you, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What they're a gold god, they're a gold dragon? What are they again?
Y'all never took Shep up on the dream walking with Tiamat, so you haven't really learned much about this creature at this point.
I mean, we saw it emerge.
Things. You saw it emerge. You saw it's got 5 heads. You've seen, but your actual knowledge, except for it being a destroyer of cities, it's a little scant.
Well, you did fire. Do a different element. You got a different element in there? Start like poking around his shoulder.
What do you think could happen if I just like shot a blank wish down there?
I don't know.
I feel like if you're gonna gotta use wish, you gotta make a wish, right?
Oh, wish that it could kill it.
Sorry, I'm metagaming. I apologize. Sorry, I'm not there.
Well,
Ignore me.
Asher knows what wish does and what consequences it has for certain things.
Yeah, I'm concerned that making that powerful of a wish is going to really, really blow back on us in some way.
Okay.
I am going to shoot a wish into it, wishing that I get a revolver out of this process that can do damage to Tiamat.
With a 9th level spell cast and an 8th level spell cast, the machine whirs to life, going faster and faster. I need you to roll a charisma saving throw with disadvantage as the machine seeks to absorb even more of your abilities.
Hang on. I'm looking for 2 dice that like me. Give me a second. There you are. Okay. Every time I think that a dice is going to like me, it doesn't, so that was probably a bad thing to say out loud.
Dun, dun, dun.
You said disadvantage?
Yeah.
That's a 2 plus 11, so it's 13.
Okay.
I didn't give you anything because I thought it would be good.
That's fine. So you lose for the day. We'll see if you can get them back. 8 spell slots. You can choose where they're coming from. But you are going to lose 8 spell slots as it continues to pull more energy from you. And I will get to do some updates to your tool. But the basic parts are going to be...
I'm just going to put one hand on Tanzanite's shoulder so I don't fall over as I get basically drained. 2 of my highest level spell slots and 8 additional spell slots just sucked out of me in 10 seconds.
All right, there's that. And
excuse me.
Okay. Let's see if that worked. You're kind of just feel that draining happen. And after the draining is over with, you see the machine slow down, the glowing lights dissipating, and the components of your revolver there. No longer is it a simple revolver. It now glows to your eyes, and it is clearly enhanced in some way. And you can see that it's just luminescent. You worry that if you ever had to sneak around, this would probably not be the revolver to have out, because it is putting out some light. It's a bit reddish in color, as there's some sort of essence of fire from the fireball.
Okay.
And you have the feeling that it would be really hard for this revolver to miss. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back, and she starts putting back together your revolver. You should try it out, see if it's working.
Okay, what do I shoot at?
And she points off to the wall, and you can see there's a ton of equipment in her space, but often in the far range, you can see inside the building still, you can see a very small dartboard. It looks like she probably, after drinking, tries to invite people over for little darts competitions and stuff like that. Go ahead and see how well it does.
I'm just going to look at it glowing in my hand and be like, what's on the other side of that wall?
Well, the cavern for a couple miles, and then the outside, I guess, probably.
Okay.
Eventually.
And then I'm just going to point at the target and shoot.
Roll an attack with your updated revolver.
38.
Jess's face.
It's not a plus 22, Riss, but it's a plus 21.
And roll damage.
Let's see. Hang on, I'm just going to do this on here.
Gonna have to do a lot of updates to your equipment stuff.
27.
Awesome. That it pierces, leaving just a small hole, but a glowing wake behind it as the part of that dartboard that wasn't a solid material, but was in fact something that could burn, is burned away a bit, leaving just kind of like a blackened edge. And you can tell the hole goes quite deep. I need you to roll a D100, I think it is. This is the part that I can't add to your stuff yet.
Ha!
Yeah,
I've never done that. It's a 100 on my D100.
Awesome.
Rick's face. I don't know how awesome
That's
that is, but
That's never happened before. I mean, it's awesome just in like I've never seen the 100 little section of this dice before.
That is
All right.
super cool. Okay, I gotta just find 100.
If you shoot off one dragon's head, the head adjacent to it also explodes.
That's super, super cool. I just need to find the right page because 100 is further up. Oh my gosh, there's so many pages. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Jason's fault. He rolled a 100.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I've ever rolled a 100 on any D100 roll before. It might be a first.
Okay.
I think I rolled a 98 or 99 once, but
Usually I just like rip that thing across the floor and then it smashes into the wall and then I chase it across the room and apparently dice tray was the way to go.
Given the space that you're in right now, a kind of God's made forge. Yeah, that makes the most sense. You've caused a wild magic surge.
whoop.
Oops.
And you realize after firing it that will happen every time. The magic is flooding towards you. You can feel people without magic can probably even see the ley lines as they've interconnected to this forge. And the most prominent of which is going to be up to you to decide, Asher. Would this be a surge of magic that is divine in origin, as this is a forge of the gods? Would this be more natural and nature magic? Would this be more of your magic, the arcane? Or would this be a funneling of more martial forces?
I feel like because I wished for a weapon to damage a god, it would be divine magic.
Okay. You and Tanzanite and Jill witness from within. Trixie, you're singing a sea shanty about something, maybe.
What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor?
Trixie, what do you do with a drunken Trixie? Oh, so
Early
late
in the morning.
The forge begins to transform.
Oh,
The
dear.
building begins to transform.
I'm just going to be like, oh shit, I warned you. Oh shit. Told her I had a lot of juice.
A metamorphosis. The clanging of hammers starts to begin. molten metal pours forth from the ground and the ceiling and transforms into sacred artistry. The anvil that previously just held, just a moment ago, your rifle whispers, "Hello." Tools appear that have not existed ever in all of humankind's existence, and all the tools that used to possibly exist begin to form. A temple is emerging, and you witness flames start to encircle this area that is now a divine altar to the forge, to making, to creation. And they are not flames of red, they are flames of blue. They have this divine spark to them. And the footprint of the forge doesn't expand that much, but there are now levels and levels and levels streaking upward and downward as a spiraling staircase begins to emerge and just go down to the depths. At every level, you think you can hear the sound of anvils being bashed upon. And you are now in a divine temple to the creative gods. Because you rolled a D100.
I'm just gonna be like standing there with my glowy gun, like I'm just gonna look at Jill to see if she's mad at me.
At a glance at Jill, tears, just tears coming down her face. The dark soot of a space such as this just cleaned away by those tears, and she just whispers, "I need to get a drink."
I'm gonna be like, high five.
Well, thanks for changing this particular town.
Again.
So as we walk back out to the bar, I'm just gonna throw my arm around her back. So remember what I was saying about I was worried about shooting one of my most powerful spells into that hole. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it clearly could take it. And as you walk outside, you can see. Oops. Yes. Doggy time. You can see that the building that was there
I believe the barking has stopped. I've unmuted us again.
No, I was just trying to get something written down because I needed to make a note before I forgot, because, you know, this is how this session could go. It is a true transformation. And you can hear that the only person still singing is Trixie, as everybody else in the bar across the way is just staring up at the structure that no longer is a structure within a cavern, but is actually a pillar from ceiling to ground, and as you know, because you were inside of it, below. It's adorned with intricate carvings, the carvings of people at work. This is not a place of worship in a, like, we're going to sit in pews and do this. It's a place of the work is the worship. And you can see glistening mosaics are reflected on the outside. And there's a marble facade that radiates both like a sense of like hard work being done, but also just serenity in doing the work. And just looking at it, it makes you want to go inside and do work, to do work of creative types, whether it is, and you can see this in some of the motifs, whether it is work of the forge, work of the needle and thread, work of writing. It's overpowering, rugged, but at the same time really beautiful, but in a very kind of, I don't think you would actually use the word beauty. You'd use the word, it's a handsome building, and maybe even a little bit forbidding, except for how much it invites you to go inside and do work. All right. So, with
the Temple
that,
of Foreboding Invitation.
So thanks for that super fun roll there. Tanzanite.
I'm going to whisper to Jill, just be like, hey, so if anybody asks, did we do that on purpose?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I have to be like a priest now. That's going to suck.
But maybe people will just come, like, give you money and stuff?
Eh. She turns around and walks back in.
Or, like, all the coolest materials that people find, they'll bring here.
She just peeks her head in the doors, looks around, and comes out again. Says, I don't have a place to sleep anymore.
Oh God!
I think my bed's gone.
Sorry. I can rent you a room.
No. I can work this out. I'll figure this out.
I bet if you
on the floor before.
I bet if you built a bed in there, it'd be a really good one.
She just keeps looking up and. Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna go get drunk, and then she goes right over to Trixie. Trixie, you're holding a cup of something. Who knows?
As she comes over and be like, "Hey,
thank you." She just downs your drink. More. Everybody's kind of like crowded around, asking her questions, talking, but just like it's a bit of a party. Asher, if you're following them, Tanzanite, if you're following them, it is now revelry.
I'm just gonna look, like, before we follow him, just look over to Tanzanite and be like, so that happened.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Jill looks over at you, Tanzanite, as she's like drinking a second one. You're next. Third time's the charm.
As they walk in, I go, "Hey!"
I don't have any weapons on me at the moment.
Did you have a sword?
That was Asher.
Oh,
She has a sword.
well, wait, what? She's got a what?
What?
I have a sore
he
neck
said
that goes into my arm, so I can't put my arm into the thing.
Roll a deception check. I kind of want you to lose this one, but
Not one.
It was
you're
fate.
lying to me.
I pull out my little like mallet. I'm like, I mean, I have this, but I don't really use it.
What about?
We're
Don't you have a
going
shield?
back in. And she grabs a hold of you, and the crowd is with her. And they are going to shove and push you to get in. If you're trying to escape this situation, I need you to tell me how you're going to do it. If you're just dealing with it.
As the crowd like shoves them, I'm just gonna be like off to the side, be like, "Hey, praise Tanzanite, woohoo!"
Tanzanite! Drunken.
I'm not really fighting it. I just.
Yeah, you're brought in, and these people who haven't been inside yet are just agog, looking at everything. You were there, you saw it transform, the craziness that's happening, this insane space, and she drags you over to the
The Hall of Doom.
The magical forge, and she goes, "What could go wrong?" And rather than letting you and talking you through it, she just thrusts your arm into the hole and says, "Okay, let's do it." She's gonna roll with disadvantage now because she's drunk. Okay, power it on.
All right, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go big. And I want to...
Wait. I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration. I'll write a poem, pretend I already said it.
Okay,
I don't want you to have to wait while I write it, so just go ahead.
I have a train of thought, but I don't know... I'm going to tell you what I want to do, and if I can't do it, I have a second plan.
Okay.
What I want to do is like channel like my godlyhood powers of death into it.
Awesome.
But if not, then I can do an actual spell.
So channel
if you're
divinity.
Channeling your divinity.
Yeah.
You can use your channel divinities. So I think.
Which you have.
Yes, she definitely has that. I'm trying to think about what other things she might.
Spiritual weapon?
Okay, we'll start off with the channel divinities. Let's check those off.
Okay.
And then I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, I also have my never mind. No, okay.
Pretend 30 seconds ago I said, "Give it all you got. A god needs divine weapons." Let's see what happens.
Let's see what you got. Great. I'm gonna put all 3 of my channel divinity into it.
Okay.
Oh.
And
hey, I wasn't gonna do this.
Roll the wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay.
Disadvantage. Wisdom saving.
Bardic Inspiration, just in case.
What is that again? That's
Bardic Inspiration is.
What is yours up to
12
now?
now, I
12?
think.
Woo woo!
okay. Here we go.
Yep,
I'm gonna mute this so it's not loud.
That was a lot of face for those of you who can't hear because she has herself muted. There was a lot of face.
I wasn't making a noise either.
No.
What's the disadvantage roll turned out to be?
So, turned out to be.
Yeah.
Because you made faces.
Saving throw.
What would you roll?
Okay. So, without disadvantage, would have been a nat 20. With disadvantage, 19.
Hey!
Without
plus 10.
plus 10.
That's a plus 10 she's got, so she's
And
rolling 9.
Do you want to? Well, I mean, you
Well,
don't need the Bardic Inspiration.
I might need it.
Throw
Are
it
you
on there.
rolling it? You
Do it.
do
Throw it on
roll
there.
before I tell you the result. So
I can give you another one. Throw it on there.
Then yeah, okay. So yeah. Plus 12.
Roll
your
a
D12.
d12.
All right.
roll your dodecahedron.
Okay. 5.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
34.
with that, you feel all of that energy coming through. You have a choice. You can give up your divine intervention for the day, or you can give up 4 spell slots. Would you? And depending on which choice you make, will give me things to tell you to do or not to do. So would you rather give up 4 spell slots? You choose which ones you give up, or would you rather give up your divine intervention for the day?
4 spell slots.
Okay, so nothing else needs to
Do that
happen. Go ahead and check off whichever spell slots you want to check off. You,
As I feel that Bardic Inspiration get used, I'll say, keep up the good work. God's doing some cool God things, making divine stuff. I'll give you another one.
So this was your what you said your mallet. Which thing was it? This
your
mace?
The big mace. Not big,
Okay.
but it's like my hammery thing.
Like you just had a regular old mace that you've been carrying around forever. That's what you put on there?
Well, it's like bejeweled and bedazzled, and it's beautiful. It's a mini version of my spiritual weapon.
Ornamental mace.
It's your ridiculously gorgeous.
Yeah,
but
it's a
utterly
it's
normal
show.
mace.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. I was like, what has she got? That's her. That's her.
Yeah,
like
I don't really
actual
have
weapon.
a weapon.
You are the weapon.
I could have sworn you had a sword somewhere.
I think she was carrying one. I don't think she actually used it.
Yeah.
I think she had one that she kind of carved.
Oh, it's like a sword of dragon slaying. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been smart. Oh well.
Hindsight.
Tanzanite hasn't used it yet.
Yeah, we found it in one of the layers or something.
Yeah.
Well,
how not to play Dungeons and Dragons?
You know what? It'll make things
Don't
interesting.
forget your inventory.
Okay. The mace looks just as beautiful as it did before. You don't feel quite as drained as your friends looked. You feel like you really handled this pretty well.
To be fair, I got drunk after.
What?
I'm not drunk at all.
No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of, I guess I did pass out, but again, it wasn't because of the process. It was because she said, take a deep breath, and didn't say anything about breathing it out.
I just saw Tanzanite's magic hair going nuts for a second. Over.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Bloopity bloop. I'll have to edit this later, and then all of these y'all will have to be edited later, and you'll have to make decisions about attunement and such if you need those things. But you are now the proud owner of certain death.
Ooh.
Just the same mace. Nothing much has changed about it. Jill looks at you. Well, try it out.
On what?
Just hit something. Not a person. Everybody's there cheering. A couple of people have actually gone down and upstairs, and you can hear clanging of hammers.
Okay. Is it like a cave wall? I can't remember. What's the wall situation?
Now it's a temple.
Yeah.
It's a temple that came of molten material. So
great.
There's gotta be a testing room somewhere.
I'm gonna just go up to the wall and I'm gonna go hit.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
Okay.
If my new temple I built falls down, I'm gonna be very mad at you.
13. Oh, plus.
Great.
Do I add my mace stuff?
I'm going. It's going to be a second to get it all set up, but go ahead and add 18 to that.
Woo!
31.
Making
that number.
Okay. As you hit the wall, I need you to roll a D. I think it's a D20 or is it 2 D12s? Roll a D20.
Okay. Oh, it fell. 11.
Okay.
Not great.
This is so much fun to see you all doing crazy things, but
You know what else is fun is how Rurik names episodes in advance based on what they have planned, and then we just completely derail that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't gonna do this. I was gonna go find Mama Trixie.
Mama Trixie. All right. So what'd you get?
An 11.
An 11. So that's right in the middle. Roll a d6, please.
A d6. Okay. Yeah.
I'll figure out the details on this later.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You see her hit the wall, and then you watch as she just kind of goes catatonic. You, Tanzanite, feel yourself, your soul, your divine soul, leave and enter the mace. And you're aware of what's going around. You're aware of the hand holding you and that it's your hand. But you can't move or do anything. And then you realize you can actually push yourself out of the mace or back to your body. Or into any of the people here.
Like anyone?
Anyone.
that was
a little lady nearby.
Is what?
A little old lady.
Oh, good.
Nearby?
I thought it was gonna be me for sure.
There's a lot of drunk people, a lot of just all ages and walks of life. So if you needed, yes, there's that like cranky old crone who's been drinking enough that she's no longer cranky. But
Yeah,
she's
that
not
one.
drunk. Okay. Yeah, you go to her. You move into her body, and you watch as her soul gets sucked into your mace. And you are now in control of her body. You feel her aches and her pains. You can tell that she's used to some rough work with her hands. You can feel the calluses, but she's not strong like a smith. So she does something that is very intensive with her hands. You can feel what it will be like. It would be like if you ever could have, but you don't think you will, to be old. And you realize that you can also use this to go back to the mace. You also realize you could do anything with her body. Anything at all. And nobody knows that you're in her body right now.
Don't break a hip.
Can I walk up to Asher and whisper in his ear, like pull him down? I don't know why I'm imagining she's little. I'm imagining trying to get his ear down to her and just be like, that young lady over there is very pretty. You should ask her out. Give him a little smack on the butt. And then I'm going to try to go back into my own body. I don't know what that means, but... Or into the mace, I guess.
So you transfer into the mace. You can see her soul, and then you kind of like make soul-to-soul eye contact, and she looks very confused. And you're back in the mace right now, and you can see the little old lady has her hand on Asher's butt and has pulled his ear down with her other hand, and she just looks confused. Asher, there's a little old lady looking at you very confused with her hand on your butt.
Here she comes. Sorry, people are lighting off fireworks and Buffy's terrified.
Oh, poor girl.
Your puppy needs a little bit of love.
very, very scary stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like
that happens.
Look at this little old lady and then look at her hand and be like, "Thanks."
What did excuse me. And she looks like before she looked like just drunk, and she looks like she sobered up real fast. And she turns and totters off, and you can just hear her say, "I need a drink. I need a drink."
If she comes back to the mead hall, you just hear from like down the street, "Hey!" Because Trixie's been in there by herself.
You have a partner in drinking over there. The bartender isn't even in here anymore, but she just goes behind the bar and starts pouring for both of you. And she looks really disturbed. She's like, I just need to tell you, I touched your friend's butt. I need to wash my hand. Drink
why?
it. She puts a glass in front of you. I don't know. I was not in me. I was in not me. And I don't, I'm old. I'm losing it.
I think you've had more to drink than I have, lady.
I should. And she just downs an entire mead.
The good news is she'll remember none of this tomorrow.
She'll try not to. So you're in your mace. You can go back into your body or other bodies. Let me see. You know you can't go back into her body. Having left it, you can't get back over there. How long does this last?
5 years.
It's until you decide to end it.
Incredible. So I can go into myself, go into anyone around me. Is there anything else that I'm experiencing or seeing or feeling?
As a death god, it's kind of interesting just to be able to move around. I think go ahead and roll either you choose like some sort of divine check that you would like to do or an arcana check. And it would really probably be more arcana. The DC is lower for an arcana check. It's pretty high for a religion-based check.
Arcana is fine.
Okay. So go ahead and you do still have the D12 from Asher because he did cast it again on you. So if you want to, you can use that.
7. Oh, God.
So to me, is she just standing there with the mace against the wall, just like not moving?
She looks catatonic.
Okay. I'd be like,
where are you?
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
And you're aware that Asher's sitting there trying to wave in front of your real face.
22.
22. You don't have this spell, at least I don't think you do, but you're aware of it through death and how souls might move about and such like that. This is a 6th level necromancy spell called Magic Jar, but instead of a regular container, it's your mace. The one thing you think you understand about this from like a divine perspective is that normally the container is supposed to be destroyed when you end the spell. You're a little bit nervous that your mace is going to be destroyed when you end this.
Oh. I'm a go into my body and be like, be strong, beautiful mace.
Roll a D100.
I don't have a D100. 1 second. D100.
It's the 2 10s.
Oh yeah.
I love you so much.
And a. Where are you? This one. These two. I got a 10 and a 40. So that's 40, right?
10 and a 40.
Or is it 14?
10's place, and how do you have 2? Oh, you rolled the full on the that would be 50.
Like,
wouldn't it? We do
No.
Yeah.
I got a 10 on the
40?
10, 20, 30, 60, 20.
Yeah, 10 on the 10, 20, 30.
Yeah.
That's
A 00?
no. She got a 10. You rolled 2 10 time. What is?
Does one of them have a 10 or a 00? Or do they both have the same?
This one has a 00 and a 10-0. This one has a 0.
So
Has
what
a
you
0,
roll on
0,
that
and a
one that's
10.
on your on the that what you roll on that one?
4.
4. Okay, so you rolled a 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Big
you-
number.
400.
You as you come back to your body and you're like, be strong, be strong, be strong. You open your eyes and you look at the mace and you can see one of the gems that's on there is now dark, no longer valuable, no longer. And you get the sense that anytime you do this, if you don't succeed in this random D100 roll, you may lose a gem to be replaced or not to be replaced. And then at the same time as you realize that, back in that Arcana space, you realize Magic Jar was just random. It could have been any necromancy spell.
Whoa.
And just like that knowledge seeping into your head. Jill's looking at you. Asher's like waving his hands in front of your face. Like,
So
Are
wait,
you
so
okay?
she can basically use any necromancy spell?
she doesn't
Or-
get to choose it. It's random.
Oh.
Good side, bad side.
Bonk,
That's
animate
cool
it.
though.
Yeah. Create Undead could have been cast. Be interesting to see how people reacted to that. Because that was you did 5. That would have been a 3 on your D6 roll.
Oh, gosh.
That's awesome.
Could have cast Circle of Death. All sorts of fun things. All right. Could have been Soul Cage. That was in the 6 that you had. That was all the options.
Well, whatever happened, at least I didn't get ripped out of my body again. So there's that.
This time.
Well, Asher, a little old lady, told you to ask her out, but ask out that young girl.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Well, you were spaced out a
Jim's
little. Lady
dead.
touched my butt.
Oh, why?
I don't know. No reason.
Inside check. Do it.
Gross. I'm gonna turn around and go.
Inside check.
I mean, she knows I'm lying because she was the old lady. So
I
You-
know. I was you whether you catch the he.
oh, all right. Let's see if she can deceive me, or if I know she's
roll
involved.
a deception check with advantage because you were literally not in your own body.
Oh, I got 20.
Okay, Tanzanite, nat 20. One of these got to be a 20.
got
if you want to get away
advantage,
with this
come on.
business.
Oh.
14.
Oh.
Something,
Hey,
but it won't matter.
For some reason, Asher, her chortle as she moves away sounds a lot like that little old lady's chortle when she grabbed your butt.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I keep walking.
Wait a minute. I cast hold person. Just kidding. I don't have that. I'm gonna like just run up and catch up to her and be like, so you were really spaced out and just full catatonic. And then an old lady just came up to me and told me to ask you out and then grab my butt.
She told you to what?
She said to ask you out and then grab my butt. And then she looked very surprised that her hand was on my butt and then you weren't catatonic anymore. You got some splaining to do.
I have no idea what you mean.
How long does
Give it away!
How long does this inside check last?
I think she needs to roll another deception check, and I'm holding with the same insight check. You gotta break a nat 20 at this point, Tanzanite. Getting away from her.
She's just keeps getting redder.
She's just, it's that like caught with a hand in the cookie jar. I don't got cookies. I'm already talking about.
As she runs away, I'm gonna yell, "Do you want to go out sometime?"
And I go, yes!
But you keep running.
Wait,
I keep running.
Wait, hold on. Definitely, it's Trixie's turn because you were yelling, so there's a chance she heard. Hang on. Oh, that was cocked. I'm gonna hold the one. I was in disadvantage though, but still. Oh, I wrote the same thing. Would I hear that with a 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're shouting, and everybody else is inside the forge. There's only a little old lady drinking with you.
Okay, like one ear goes this way. Here's Asher. Yell. And then Tanzanite's response, and and Trixie's just like got a cup here and just
blowing bubbles.
As Trixie is blowing bubbles into her mead, you feel a familiar presence right behind you.
Who, me?
Yes. Trixie. What are you doing? As your mother comes up behind you.
Sorry,
Hello.
I have meat up my nose. Hang on.
Things
It wasn't my fault. It's Jill's fault. Never mind. Hi.
Roll an insight check.
Me?
Yes.
With or without disadvantage?
You have permanent
Just
disadvantage on your insight check. Remember, you're drunk on that meat.
Right. 13.
There's a momentary glimmer, just a snippet where you think your mom might actually be understanding when you said Jill, but her mask comes back down too quickly for you to really be sure. But there's a moment where you think, actually, she believes me about Jill pulling this off, doing this. Well, we should be able to take care of ourselves even in the most egregious of circumstances. Are you joining us for dinner?
Depends. What are you gonna eat? And then she's just, please don't say not mash. Please don't say not mash. Please don't say not mash. Please don't say not mash.
Well, I have been branching out, and here there's not my traditional
Branching
fare.
I know. I was gonna say, okay, not bark either.
It's a little greasy and overcooked, but there's a spicy wrap here.
Greasy sounds
Really
really good right now.
hot green things inside of it, and what they call fried onion. I don't know. It leaves you. Well, I generally have to do something for my body to recover from it, but it sounds like a perfect meal for you right now.
Sounds like you need tacos and diarrhea. That's
She's full on like she's like it's that moment where like every parent eventually knows that, or hopefully every parent that's like super into their kids and wants their kids to be successful knows there's going to be a time where they do something disappointing, and they've plotted out the moment that happens, how to take full advantage of it and love it, and just mess with their kid. So she's going to take you down a street food bender that is not going to mix well with alcohol.
Awesome.
Delicious in the moment, terrible outcome, one way or another.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I want to fast forward a little bit.
it's like
if that's okay with y'all.
the squirrel version of let's just sit here and smoke the whole pack. Why not?
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
Exactly. So Tanzanite and Asher. Tanzanite, you are kind of hiding from Asher after saying yes to a date, possibly. Evening is rolling up. Do you join Trixie, Jill, and Laurora on their fast food, junk food bender?
Was that name
Or
again?
are you finding other things to do with yourselves this evening?
Nope. I am running and standing next to Trixie.
Junk food bender. Okay. Asher, what are you going with them, or are you up to other things?
I don't know if I was there to see them leave, so I will.
Well, they're at the mead hall right now, so they're literally across the way.
It was either stop moving or chase Tanzanite, so I chose to stop moving after she said yes, because chasing her seemed like not a good idea in that moment. So I'm still inside, or near the entrance somewhere, probably
at the entrance, just like stopped there.
Mhm.
Okay, so Jill is still inside as well, but Trixie, your mom says, "Well, let's go pick up Jill."
Oh, okay.
Are you joining us, Tanzanite, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had a drink as well?
Nope.
How about that young man you seem to disdain?
Don't know where he is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. Should I go pick up Jill? Looks like her forge is. What'd you do? And her eyes just look straight at you, Tanzanite.
I mean, like, you're in trouble. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I was here.
What does a Skurian mother do when their child is speaking out of turn?
Well, the tail isn't prehensile, right? So I was gonna say otherwise she could like take her tail and but
Actually, that sounds actually pretty like that's like the magic of motherhood, probably. Like when you have children, suddenly your tail can be stuffed down their throats to get them to shut up.
well, there you go. That's
so you hear
that's
the
what I
beginning
imagine.
of the mockery from Trixie, only to see fur fly, and then okay, well, I'm gonna go get Jill, who's hopefully not as drunk as my daughter is, and we're gonna go have a greasy food bender.
I'll watch her while you go get her.
Yeah, great, thank you. And her tail extracts itself from close to being at the back of your throat. It's one of those parental things that only families understand. To anybody outsider, it's gross. Just gross. Why would you stuff your tail down your kid's throat? And she makes her way over. Oh, Asher, you're here.
Hi.
Goes into the space. So the girls and I are gonna go eat some food if you want to join us, or you could. And she kind of peeks in and she sees like the activity, the people like checking things out, people working. Says, I don't know what Tanzanite did, but this is truly remarkable.
This actually was definitely Tanzanite. Just totally did some god stuff. It was great.
Roll a deception check. With advantage because she already believes that Tanzanite did this.
Well, that's a nat 1, so let's see what the other one is.
Oh my god!
Deception 28.
Yeah, her insight did not match that. She totally believes, like, you know, there are going to be repercussions from this. I don't know how Jill is going to deal with this. Is Jill okay? Is she upset? She doesn't even stop for your answer. She's dragging you with her as she goes to find Jill.
She seems overwhelmed, but not upset, if that makes sense.
Well, that's a relief. That young woman is truly remarkable. You should see the things she just is chatting to you and talking to you about things, like, and then her topics switch with kind of like the randomness of a mum. Like, so how's Trixie been doing? I can see that she's clearly under a lot of stress and we need to find a way to help her redirect that energy. But do you think she's doing okay? Is she doing well? Can you talk to me about what's going on with her?
She's doing great. I mean, she's getting really strong, and like she's.
And is drinking the new thing? What has she been? Has she been taking care of her body?
I mean, she only drinks like once or twice a day. No, I'm kidding. No, this is literally the second time she's ever had a drink, so maybe third.
Oh, so I caught her just the perfect time.
Yeah.
Well, don't ever tell her this, but my husband and I used to be quite the party animals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We cleaned up our life when we had kids, but
I could see it. It's always the ones you never expect.
You're a good kid. You should
Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation to uphold.
Oh, I've heard your reputation, and you're not holding much. She goes and finds Jill, pulls Jill out. Are you joining us, or is it a girls' night out?
Sure, why not?
Great. This is going to be fun.
Always happy to be one of the girls. That's most of my days, actually. So.
Well, come along, sweetie. She marches out with Jill, and Jill's like, "What, sweetie? What?" It is a night out on the town. I'm going to fast forward us through that.
Is Jill going to rat me out about the temple?
No, actually, mostly. I think that the dominant theme of the evening is, let's make sure Trixie feels horrible tomorrow. And it's like that motherly revenge sort of situation. Like she wants to make sure that Trixie, but the thing she also doesn't truly understand or realize is that Trixie's got the constitution of a high-level adventurer who can't be poisoned. So she's trying to see if she can get Trixie to that ill space, and all that is happening throughout the whole night, you can see her growing increasingly less and less pleased with herself as she's realizing that nothing is working. She's not going to be getting that joy that she's hoped for, of like, oh.
At some point, like 3 hours in, I'm just going to lean over and be like, you know, she has the constitution like of an ox that eats other ox, right?
That's what you get for feeding your kid nut mash all their lives. I know that it was for the best, but maybe we should have done things to weaken her immune system a little bit more.
Almost had a legit spit take on camera.
Have you tried ivermectin?
The evening wraps up. You are all of you, Jill included, end up in the fortress for the evening. It being one of the only places that people can stay. It's clear that your mother has made herself resident here, but she's also, just so Asher, Tanzanite, and Trixie, just so you know, she very much gave herself like a guest room space, but she's not kind of encroached on the rest of it. You can still see that nothing has really been done with this space, and if anything, it looks more austere with the time between when you first arrived and
I'm going to tell her that if she's like here for the long haul, that she's welcome to stay there.
Oh, I'm just a temporary resident, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Sweet dreams, everybody.
Also,
See you in
like
the morning.
if the trainees need somewhere to stay, or if there's not space, just feel free to use this space.
Are you saying like a hall for training, like a dorm?
I mean, I guess I'd have to talk to the other two, but yeah, I think that would be fine. We don't use it really right now, anyway.
That would get us out of the martial grounds.
The downside is this place is susceptible to dragon attacks, but I think we've killed most of the big dragons. So, except for the big dragon. But
that would place the healers in the place they're most needed in case of an attack too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll check in with my daughter and your
friend.
Your friend. Anything you'd like to tell me?
Like,
I will probably be traveling back to Overton soon and could share what I've seen with your mother.
Gotta go. Going to bed. Good night.
I'm guessing Trixie is passed out.
Can't wait for that
sending
spell.
Unless you want to say something else.
Me?
Yeah.
Just as we would be like heading back and walking to the abode, it would just be like, she would just be kind of incoherently but drunkenly raving about the different foods she got to eat. just be like, oh my god, that was that one thing. No, what did they call it? Oh my god, it was so good. It was just like melt in your mouth, and like I just I eat that all the time, just like just obnoxious.
I think Tanzanite, you're as you're listening to this, you're hearing the description. And you're like, does she mean that greasy, cold, congealed thing with the bun and the meat in the side that had that stale tomato paste and the wilted greens that she dipped in that tea that was
gross.
And you have kind of like a mental thing of like, that was culinary choices. Well, Tanzanite, since they're both off to bed, she corners you as she leaves conversing with Asher.
This is what she does.
I know that your family is in a bit of disarray. I really want to make sure you're okay. Is there anything I can do for you?
Thanks, new mom.
No.
Oh, well, I feel like as you're close with my daughter, and you're clearly close with that boy.
The boy.
Yes, the boy. I mean, no, I'm not close, but I'm not the only one who calls him boy.
Yeah.
I haven't said that in a while, though.
Oh, really? Tell me, why do you think that is?
Well, I used to have this thing with, like, poor people, and he's poor. Well, I guess was. Because now he has money, but that doesn't matter. But I'm a bigger person now, and poor people are people too. And I address them sweetly.
So good. I'm dying.
As you tell someone who literally for her life has given to those who need something, usually healing and care, these things, her face is troubled, but also she's hiding it as hard as she possibly can. Could you roll an insight check?
Okay. Insights. Okay.
Good.
24.
You can see her consternation, and she's hiding it as much as she can.
Alora is judging you.
But like I said, I've started to learn my ways. You know, it's not their fault always that they might be poor.
Okay.
And
Shovel hole.
they are just as useful as, you know, someone from my family could be.
Useful.
Actually, they're probably more useful in some ways.
More useful.
Mm-hmm.
Useful. You've used that word a few times. Useful. What is that?
Well, like the first time I started to sort of change how I felt, we were putting out a fire. And even though they didn't have like magical abilities or anything, they worked as a team and put the fire out.
Oh, so they had things that you don't have or didn't have?
I mean, I guess I didn't have a bucket.
She could afford several buckets, though. I just want to point that out.
Sweetie.
I mean, I provided the water, but they had a bucket. Teamwork.
Let's sit down. We're going to talk. And she proceeds to, unless you try to seek to escape, to continue to ask you questions that kind of erode your confidence a little bit. But she doesn't offer any solutions. She's just asking you questions that start to like dig in, and just, oh, well, do you think saying that would be disrespectful?
Oh, you're getting therapized.
She full on is doing like a deep dive on your psyche.
I just imagine Leonard's mom.
Yeah, it's a bit of Leonard's mob, and then she edges in every once in a while questions about your relationship with Asher when you're thrown off guard, like just when you're like sitting there going, oh, I wonder if that did hurt their feelings. And then she says, so if Asher were there, what do you think Asher would do? What would you want Asher to do?
Hilarious.
All right, morning comes. You all are awoken bright and early. For some of you, because the sun comes into your rooms. Tanzanite, because there is a lot of activity as people are about in the halls of the fortress.
Trixie comes out of her room.
I was gonna say I'm gonna come out, see why there's people in my house.
I will also come out very sleepily.
There is a work crew already at work building a protrusion from that window, but because of the labor needs and the space needs, all those doors have been flung open. The kind of chill air is pouring in, but there's just a hive of activity. A lot of money brings quick results.
I'm gonna walk over to them and be like, oh, I also, if it's okay with you guys, I told Alora that maybe the healers could use this as a dorm for the training and stuff, since we don't really live here. feel like we have lots of extra rooms.
You said that to Tanzanite?
For both of you. Didn't you both come out?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean that makes. I mean, as long as they stay out of my room, yeah.
We can lock our rooms when we go.
Well, does that not seem like that would be rude?
What?
Like channeling her mom from last night. Being like, well,
What?
someone needs
You're
your
hearing
room.
your mom's
Surely
voice
someone...
through Tanzanite.
Oh, they don't. We have more than enough room. I just mean, like, so that people don't touch my things. If they need, like, the books and
I don't
stuff.
want people to touch my things. They can't go in my room either.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we're allowed to.
Her mom only got so deep.
We ended that programming in 10 seconds.
An entire myth-spent youth of getting that programming into your head and body, not undone by one evening with Allura constantly getting into your head.
So I remember my shovel. I remember a little old lady. I remember a motorcycle.
That set off a car alarm.
Did it set off a car alarm just now? Awesome. Great. Thanks, guys. I remember a little old lady, and then I remember my mom showing up, but I don't really remember much after that.
Well, I created a giant temple of creation on accident, and then we went to the food court or the food market and ate a bunch of spicy foods.
Oh, that makes sense. I kept burping all night.
Those things that you ate will do that.
I don't remember what I ate though.
We'll go back.
Yes, can we do that before we leave?
Sure.
Okay.
I think your mom was trying to torture you a little bit with like spicy and really flavorful foods because you were drunk, but I think that she lost that game because you enjoyed yourself quite a bit. So
It's not my fault. I told Jill I couldn't have mead, and she said I didn't have to worry because it came from bees in the dark. It's her fault. That's it. I'm never drinking again, ever.
As you say you're never drinking again, you just hear,
Who's dying?
behind you,
oh, that's your mom.
slowly standing up is Jill, and she just passed out on the ground.
Oh no.
She looks over and she goes, I think I need to go get a drink.
A drink of what?
Hair of the dog.
Oh yeah, you know me. Asher, let's go.
What?
And get drunk.
Right now?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna help.
It's
Oh,
like
God.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Things are moving up and down in my body. We're going to go get drunk.
Hang
So I can
on.
forget
Oh
this.
no! Wait, if I have long rested, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, we all did, yeah.
Okay,
you're drunk
hang on.
rested, but yes.
No such thing when it comes to me. I am going to go over to her and go to steady her. And as I do that, hang on.
Dun dun.
I'm going to use a key point. Where is it? I'm going to use a key point to use Physician's Touch, which can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, stunned, or poisoned. So I would at least like to remove the nausea. I don't know what else, but like I really don't want to see anybody throw up. So I'm just gonna go up to her and be like,
As you like hit her, she's doing the whole, and as she's about, oh, wow,
better.
You're better than booze, keeping you around.
Well, I mean, I don't get drunk that often, so, or
yeah,
really kind of. I mean, I guess I got drunk, but I don't get sick.
You should definitely do it. If you can do that, you should just do it.
I mean, I also got blasted 5 years into the future, so.
Oh yeah, I forget. You're the trio. Okay, I gotta go to my workshop.
Hey, Joe.
I think my workshop is not my workshop anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made a temple on accident. It was your fault. You made me do it. Bye.
Oh God.
Well, I try to grab his collar if he tries to duck away. But so obviously the workshop turned temple thing is an issue. So, and you mentioned. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't mention. I wouldn't have been there.
Oh, if you need a place to stay, we have rooms here.
I don't think I'm gonna sleep on your floor again. That was not a comfortable.
No, we have rooms with beds in them.
No, you could have a permanent room. If there's not one at the temple for you, I don't know what all he means by made a temple, but if there isn't like a room for you there, you can have one here in compensation. I just like shoot Asher a look, and speaking of compensation,
she told me to shoot my strongest spell into the hole. It's not my fault.
I get it. She told me to take the meat. I get it. In compensation for your work on our weapons. What?
Well, you're gonna go after that monstrosity, so I feel like it's all I could do, or what I should do. I don't know.
I'm gonna say I worked at a bar and learned a few things while there, like hangover cures. I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on her.
Her relief, like how I have that worry line that just gets permanently etched. It just sags down. Just, oh, I should have traveled with you all. This is, and her eyes just turn to Tanzanite. What you got? I mean, she did and he just. What's next?
I just kind of I don't look at Asher, but I hold my paw up.
Uneyed.
Other way.
High five.
You're both on the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on the wrong side? Oh. That's so weird because, like,
yes,
looking at the screen, you think it would.
Side, yeah.
I'm gonna
Cliff
clap her like on her shoulder and say, "You're gonna be okay," and just give her some guidance.
She's like, "Why am I tingly?"
Divine guidance.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I gotta go get to work. I think.
Okay. Well, let us know if you need anything.
Trixie, your mom needed you for something.
Yeah, I'm assuming that. I mean, that's kind of why we're here.
Okay.
I don't know what, but
Something about eggs.
not the kind you eat. You don't want to know.
Well, not our eggs. She had more eggs. I don't know if it's the same eggs.
Again, not the kind you eat.
Probably.
I don't know what else you do with eggs, but it's
Hatch
fine.
them.
You're gonna have birds?
Never
mind. I don't want to know. I really don't.
If you really don't want to know, you should just go to the
I'm
temple.
I'm gonna go see if it's even. And as she is trying to say words, Tanzanite, you feel that guidance dissolve as it's used for something. And she just relaxes her shoulders a little bit and goes, wow, you three need to come by more often. And she starts walking out.
As she walks away, I got turned to the other two and I go, I don't know about that. We really need to like not do so much.
Level 20 adventures in a world that had just started to get around the concepts of these different things. Pretty sure you're gonna have a big splash. The day would be yours, but I think we should end with you all planning to go find Trixie's mother and
Alora.
resolve this issue.
It is time. Good? Yes.
It is time. Thank you all
this time I'll do what I promise.
Well, this was perfect. I mean, talk about all the mother's favorites thing. Which one was mother's favorite? She went after all three of y'all.
Y'all got the Alora treatment.
Yeah. But thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful October. We're going to be in New York City Comic Con soonish, but we have one more session before then, right? Or we're getting together next week?
No, that'd be...
I don't know. If we are every...
Are we back to every?
Then yes.
Yeah, we would have one more for every week.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
So we'll see you
next
week.
Unless we have a conflict of some sort, but we'll chat amongst ourselves after this to make sure.
I don't.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.